Hello gamers and welcome to Gold. This is the rank where everybody knows how to win, but nobody actually knows the steps to getting there. But today, I'm going to give you those steps so you can finally rank up out of Gold and hit that Platinum rank you've been dreaming for your entire life. Wow, it's going to be awesome, guys, okay? I'm going to take you through a few games here and explain, firstly, some of the big mistakes that Gold players make, and also what we should be focusing on Gold to actually get better at the game. And by getting better at the game, we will rank up because we're going to win more when we're actually better instead of gimmicking our way to the top. Now, we're starting out on Canal, which is, newer in the rank pool. It's back in action, which I'm excited about, but I'm just already setting up this site a little maybe differently than you would see in Gold, but we're extending out the bomb site just by a single room. Now, if you followed this series all the way from Copper, we talked a lot about how to anchor, how to find advantages in fights, but if you're Gold, you kind of know how the game works, right? You kind of know when you need to get aggressive, when you're maybe losing rounds, etc. And we're going to talk about a little bit more, but you're not bad at the game, but you're also not really good either. And I think the first thing is, if you have an ego in Gold, you need to drop that immediately, because the more that you think you're the best player ever, the worse you're going to play. So let's get rid of this drone. We're going to sit on site. We're just going to hold for now, figure out where they're coming from, and go from there, okay? And as we progress, we'll talk about some different concepts, but for this first round, I'm just gonna explain what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, and we're gonna take it very simple. Also kind of just feel out how the other team is pushing. Now on Canal, a lot of people will go for this main wall. And you see I'm just in the site. I mean, we can take a look at where our teammates are playing too. A lot of people go for this main wall and try to actually push in, but what happens once they actually push into here? Well, now they're exposed to a bunch of different angles. So this is actually a choke point for them. A lot of defenders will peek out through this breach, get picked off, and then not be alive for when that choke point actually becomes an opportunity. Because instead of thinking, how do I find the advantage, right? You're not thinking how you get these advantages in this fight, like getting the crossfire and playing these crossfires. You're thinking, where's the next kill? How do I get the next kill? Where are they? Who should I go fight? Because you know how to take these isolated gunfights in Gold, where you go and you peek each person one at a time. But what you don't know is how you actually gain an advantage. And you want to use what's around you, like desks, like one-way angles, like pixels, to get advantages in these fights. And then you can use the cover to actually gain advantages. So you want to start learning and thinking, more importantly, how do you start getting your advantages? And while you're mid-round, stop thinking where's the next kill at, It's more where can they come from and how can I gain an advantage if they do come from there, at least on the defensive side. And that will change for attack. We'll talk about that when we get there. So for now, I'm just going to hold this angle, see if he pushes in, right? I haven't been droned. There's no need to move. Cade's using those footholds super well to just kill them as they walk in, because he knows how to get the advantage, right? If they're on these footholds, he's just shooting them through a one-way angle, right? They can't see him. He can see them. He's just shooting them through this wall, right? And they just have no chance against this angle. So he knows that he can gain an advantage just by holding this. So he's just going to hold that angle. And if he gets drones out, he shoots the drone and he moves and he can pick up another spot, right? So you're just working around the different advantages that you can find. And for now, we're in a 4v2. There's nothing I need to do. I should probably stim this guy, right? I should probably do that. And then I just need to keep holding the only place they can come from, which is this outside door right now, right? We have teammates over here, teammate over here, teammate holding this. All the possible threats are covered right now, so we just need to hold and do our thing. We can stim him up. This guy actually pushed in while we stim, so he actually, made a pretty good play. We know the last one's Skybridge. Do we peek? Do we look for the next kill? No. How do we find the advantage? We get into cover and we hold the angle. So thinking to yourself, how can I get the advantage in the fight on the guy that you already know is there? Because you kind of know how to play the game, and most of the time you can figure out where they're at. And if you don't know how to play the game still, and you're Gold, firstly, congratulations, good work. Secondly, just play trap operators. Now you're going to get all the info you need to actually make the right decisions too. And even if you already know how to play a game, trap ops are just going to make you even better. It's why I still play them at the highest rank in the game, okay? So that was a pretty good round, talked about holding angles, and that's what a lot of it is going to be, finding these advantages. So as we go through these games, I'm going to try to point out where we can gain the advantages and how we can gain the advantages so we can start shifting our thinking from where are they, go kill, to where are they, where can they go, and how can I gain the advantage for when they go there. So now we're thinking just one step ahead of where they're at right now. So if we can just start to think one step ahead, already we've amplified the hell out of our game, and we're so much stronger because of it. So again, trap ops gonna be super good. I mean, the Doc and Thunderbird are great in this rank because most people aren't hitting headshots, so you actually might get a lot of value out of them. However, you're relying on your teammates for more of the info game, unless you are, bringing the barbed wire, but it's not as reliable as like 4 Melusi Banshees or 3 Ella Mines or Thorn Traps or whatever. So The op's fine. It's not really going to come down to your operator pick. You don't want to focus too much on your operator pick in this rank. It's a lot more simple to just play the trap ops and not have to think about it than it is to have to learn all these other operators and how to play each one differently. You know, when the trap operators get the job done just fine. So we're going to extend out of the site again. We want to kind of hold this whole first floor on Canal. This Melusi will stop them from running in Trench right away. And we have this Thorn trap to combo it too. So where else can they actually come from? This staircase, we'll put a Melusi on it. Same with like the lockers window. We have this Melusi over there for Scuba. But this is the only other spot they can come from, right? Outside of the hatches. And if you reinforce the hatches, it makes it a whole lot easier. We don't have them reinforced, so we're just not going to worry about it for now. We're going to get on the camps and actually see where they're pushing. We also want to check. Very important to start building this habit now. Now that we kind of understand how to hold the site, how to extend, how to even roam a little bit, which we talked about in the last video. Now we need to start to learn, okay, how do I position myself to create the most value? Where can I be the most effective player right now? So you see, my teammates are over here. Look at your teammates. Where are they playing? This guy's yellow stairs. This guy's holding Scuba. This guy's lockers. This guy's on the other side of the map. Now we ask, where can they come from? Step 2. Main stairs. Got a Melusi. Bunker. Well, they just opened the doorway, so they can absolutely come from there. So let's hold this for now, because nobody else is watching it, right? So if we just hold this walk-in, you know, we could even cross to the corner, because we have that Melusi. They're going to be slowed, and we have the one-way angle from the footholds here. So if they walk in, we're in a really big advantage. But we get drone. So let's change the idea up. Run from the fuse charge, and then we'll take back after that. This fuse is going to do a lot of work on us, but we still have to hold our trench. Let's go to a spot where the fuse can't kill us, and we're not exposed to this main stairs. This is the next best option, right? So there's that Nomad. You know, we don't need any good aim. That Thorn Trap's going to take him out just the way we planned. And we still have this Melusi. So we just want to make sure they don't take the bomb site, right? So we can just hold this for now. Now, we got to remember... Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to poop on that guy. We got to remember the hatch is potentially open. So we might have to retake the bomb site. Now, if this guy doesn't die, we just hold, right? Because we can't just walk into the middle of the open. We can just hold for this Melusi still. But now that it's a 4v2, we might have to potentially retake the hatch. So when we hear him drop, which you might not, so you might just want to hold the site for now and make him plant. But if he drops, you can retake above and then start working that hatch on them. Hear them putting pressure on this main stairs, but of course we have that Melusi, which is now hacked. So we'll just try to find the advantage. Where are they going to come from, and where can we get the advantage? Well, they're coming main or trench. So if we hold this like this, we have a pretty big advantage, right? Because we have so much cover. So let's just hold this and make him push down. Now he's also going to have cover, but we don't want to just run into the middle of the open, of course. One's going to come down main stairs. We can call that out, let them know. They're going to drone again. So if we can shoot this drone and actually run away, we might be okay. Because now we can get into a better, safer spot like this. And we don't want to hold this because that's actually an advantage for him. Actually, we have a lot of cover. We know he has to come here. This isn't a bad idea. Of course, that hatch drop is going to be scary. We have the cover. I actually didn't think there was a guy in the hatch, but there you go. So we hold this. We don't even have to peek him, right? We have the advantage. We can make him push us. The more time we waste, the better. If we hear him pushing up on us, we'll just stay prone. He may have thought he killed us right there, so we just keep holding. There we go. We actually killed our teammate. Now once we get a kill, we can pick a new position. Keep falling off because they got to plant the bomb. You got to plant the bomb. And this is a great angle through the doorway there. I did want to just show you that. Another thing you notice I'm doing literally the entire round is I'm staying ADS'd. I'm not sitting, hip firing, looking around at everything. I'm holding angles actively. I'm actively contesting where they could push in from. So it's a matter of reading your team, figuring out what they're doing, how you can be the most valuable based off where your teammates are, and then finding that position, identifying it, playing it, and then holding angles. Literally, this game is that simple on defense. Find the gap before the attackers do because you have all the information that they don't. So let's think about it this way. If I look around at my entire team, I can see every single person on my team through the wall. Imagine the attacker could do that. The attackers could just see, oh, your whole team's roaming on this side. Okay, I'll just take the site and go plant the bomb, right? That's why walls are so strong. You can constantly find the gap. As a defender, you know where these gaps are because you can see your whole team through the wall. So if you just identify that immediately before they drone out everyone and then identify it, or they drone out, you know, the gap and see it's free, then you'll never have those gaps unless there's more than one gap because you can't hold all of them, right? So identify the gap, prepare for them to actually take the gap, and then just hold your angles and then do all the basics that we already talked about, which is shoot the drone and fall off, kill and move, and most importantly, yeah, just hold these angles, because a lot of people will sit there like this. I mean, we've kind of, I've watched a couple match replays, and we've kind of stopped sitting in the middle of the open in really bad spots where we can get killed from a bunch of different angles once we hit this rank. Like, we know a lot more about how to isolate gunfights, which is great, without exposing ourselves to other ones. However, we're still not holding angles. Like, we're sitting in an area like, let me show you. We're sitting in an area like this, and then instead of holding an angle on the walk-in through the doorway, we're just sitting and doing this and looking around. Meanwhile, there's a guy on this door that just walks in and shoots us in the side of the head. So just be aware of what you're actively doing with your weapon at all times. Now, if we use these elements, we can kind of cover more ground, right? We can see where our teammates are. We're gonna cover the different gaps into the site. Again, why info is so strong. So we have this museum entrance. We have the staircase. We have the hallway, which we now have an element on. We got a thorn trap here, so I don't need to worry about that too much. And the only other thing is this top area, right? So maybe we can... Oh, we have a beeper. There we go. So we don't have to really worry about anything now. Now we ask the question, where is the gap? Where are our teammates? How can we help them? And where is the gap? Well, this is a gap, right? Nobody's playing it. There we go. The guy walks in. So we got to get ready for this player to walk in. We hear it's a shield. We'll put the Elamine, and we're going to swing off the Elamine. Now we have another gap. Okay, so we have 2 gaps. So what do we do now? Well, we're going to have to swing onto this shield. We have to eliminate some of the pressure. What's the easier pressure? Maybe this one for now, because he's going to hit that mine, and that's our chance to kill the shield, which are very, very strong. So we'll wait for him to swing in. He's going to hit this mine. It's going to swing a shield, and we'll just swing off it. Unfortunately, it's a Montang. Or Montagne. Some people get mad at me for that. At this point, it's not looking good, right? So many gaps. We're trying to hold them all, but we can't, right? So that's the unfortunate part, is sometimes you're not going to be able to hold all the gaps. We have a guy pushing us museum. We have a guy pushing us from red stairs. We have a guy pushing us from the other hallway. And our teammates aren't holding anything, which kind of sucks, but there's more we can do in those situations. There is more we can do, believe it or not, which is get aggressive on each one at a time. However, it's not ideal. And this is part of why, you know, in gold, and even throughout this whole series, I push so heavily for pushing directly for the bomb site and playing on the bomb site on defense. Because once you lose the bomb site, maybe I've seriously overestimated the abilities of a gold player with my aim. I apologize, because that was crazy. So once you have control of the bomb site, you just plant the bomb, and you're going to lose, right? So because the other team knows this, I'm the only guy on the site. If they kill me, they can just plant the bomb. However, they still haven't, because they're just fighting for kills still. They're not looking for the advantages. The advantages are to plant the bomb and then hold a really, really broken angle that this guy has to push into, because you have all the win chance in the world once you plant that bomb as an attacker, especially when you have like a huge man advantage. So if you're smart, if you're on the other team there, you keep walking in, you keep pushing for the site, you killed the only guy there, and then you can just go plant the bomb. You see Lion does it really well. He goes, he knows the guy's on the other side of the map, he plants the bomb. Huge advantage in this fight. Now, he did play a little aggressive. He probably could have planted even sooner, you know, knowing that Vigil's flanking and the Rooney's off site, but they didn't know. They didn't end up droning everything out, which is fine. But pushing for the site is really good. Playing away from the bomb site when your entire team is away from the bomb site, not good. Like, imagine I was just also roaming there. Okay, now they just actually walk all the way into site. We don't kill anyone. We don't slow them down at all. And now we're really cooked, because now we're in a 5v5 retake, except we're basically pushing into a setup that we've made for the other team, and they have all their abilities and all their tools and all their gadgets still to completely shut us out. Like, attacking on defense is not ideal, and defending on attack is also not ideal. Well, actually, defending on attack, if you have control on the bomb site, is ideal, but not when you're outside the building defending a part of the map that doesn't matter. I'm going to dial it back a bit. I feel like I'm getting too complicated, so I'm going to try to dial it back and kind of try to keep things as simple as possible, because that's the name of the game. Just keeping it simple, gentlemen. Keeping it simple, okay? And womenmen. Gentlemen and womenmen, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I know, okay? I just thought maybe we could make a word for gentlemen as ladies, because gentlemen is just such a good word. Okay, let's lock in. We're on attack now. This is fantastic. We haven't talked about attack too much yet. I think we hammered out some of the main points on defense, but you know, that's okay. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Attacking. Let's calm down. Let's take a deep breath, and let's take it one step at a time. What did we just say? Going directly for the bomb site is great. So we're going to drone out the bomb site. see who they have. At this point, we know a lot more about operators and stuff. Okay, they have Tubero. They got Vigil. The last one might be a Cade. It might be a Bandit. We don't want to take that risk and play Ace, because if we can't get any value out of our ability, we're going to be kind of useless. So how can we actually get value out of our ability? Well, let's play the Maverick for this round, because we've already picked it. You know, he's a great operator. He's an operator that you just can't counter. So already immediately, I know that we're going to be able to open this main wall, because I'm playing Maverick, and I'm going to play it smart and stay alive. So we're going directly for the bomb site. You see my whole team is just spawning on the other side of the map. I mean, we've talked about this time and time again. If you're clearing the entire map, guys, or anywhere that's not the bomb site, you need a reason to do it. And if you don't have a reason, you're just adding risk to your game. But the more direct you go, the less flank routes there are, the easier it is to, you know, run the simple process of drone plus utility plus take space plus get kill, whatever. And you just run that a few times. So this guy ran out here, so we'll just hold him for a second. We can actually drone real quick. He might run out off that drone. Might be enough to bait him. We'll just take a look, because we want to get this wall, but well, there's that poor timing there. Now we don't have a drone left, so that's actually pretty well played by that Legion. Let's get rid of his goo mine there. See if he ends up running out again. If they want to play aggressive on the defense, we can let them. We don't want to waste our entire round here, though. So I'll throw an 8. I'm just going to drop off of that, right? Use my utility to get a better space. And then I'm holding the angle. He ends up peeking into it. So this is what we're doing on attack. We're basically holding space. And if they get overly aggressive, he got a lucky one tap. You know, that's a gunfight. I probably win more often than not. But we're just holding that angle. We're holding the next potential threat. And we're getting ready for the aggression. And if they don't play aggressive, we need to keep working the map. So I'm trying to go for this main wall, but I can't open the main wall with this guy peeking the doorway, right? If he's running out the doorway, I'm probably going to die. And that's not a great strategy for Canal, because Canal is a map that's very hard to actually get into as an attacker. But because they have so many gaps and they're playing so aggressive, when they die, it just makes more gaps, and then we're able to get in the building, and we're able to just like murk them all, essentially, which is what we just witnessed. We watch them over-aggress, die, and then we get in the building and kill the rest of them. So it makes it a lot easier when they play like that, because now it doesn't matter that they bring Tubero and Cade and try to stop the main wall. It doesn't matter that they're holding this really strong power position, because there's all these other gaps that we can take advantage of. And taking advantage of gaps is great. It's fantastic. It's just a little more complicated than going directly for the bomb site. So it's not quite the level we're at here in gold. It's not something we really want to focus on quite yet, but we are going to get there, especially in these higher ranks. Once we start identifying weak points and identifying other things that make it easy to attack and take space, and that free space will spiral into more kills and more value and easy wins. But when we're down here in gold, it's just a matter of most of the time you just get lucky and you end up walking into a gap anyway, which can win you rounds on attack. However, it's not a reliable way to actually get better and improve fundamentally. And I think that's really important to focus on if you actually want to improve, is doing the things right, doing the steps right, so that you're actually gaining the skills that will help you in the future, which is how we actually skyrocket through the ranks instead of just going up by like one rank or two. And I think this is true for anything. Like you could crack an egg, you could try to make a fried egg and get lucky and cook it perfectly 1 out of 10 times. And then you're like, okay, I can make a perfect fried egg. But can you really? Can you really make that fried egg, or did you just get lucky, right? I don't know if that was a good analogy or not, but that's all I'm trying to say. So anyway, they're clearly playing really aggressive, which is fine. I'm fine with them playing aggressive. We're going to do a slightly different approach, though. So we're still going to try to go direct for the site. We're just going to do it with... Let's do it with Gridlock. Gridlock and Nomad are super, super good in this rank, because once you take those gaps, you now have the gadgets to stop them from taking it back. And if you have a really strong position, aka the bomb site or something right next to the bomb site, where you can plant the bomb or, you know, get into an opportunity to plant the bomb, now you're going to get a lot of kills, because once you plant the bomb, life is a mess for the defense. So anyway, we're going to go to this window. We're going to try to get into the bomb site. We're going to use the tools that we have in order to do it. Now, one thing we could start talking about is pressure. Adding pressure onto different areas. The more pressure we add, the more things they have to look at. So if we actually open up this window all the way, we can add a lot of pressure, because this is something they have to then watch. They have to worry about me hopping in this window, right? So they have to waste the resources or the manpower to actually hold that window now. So opening up doors and windows and stuff is good, but you do have to be cautious because it can always be used against you, right? So if I open that and just completely ignore it, they can also jump out on that on me. So we see here, this is all kind of free. We just have this Legion on the staircase, so we can actually just take this space, right? We can just take it, break the barbed wire, gridlock off our flanks. We don't have to worry about that walk up green stairs from that Legion. We're basically just using all our utility to stop them from pushing us. So we have this really strong space. Now we just got to stay alive. So as long as we stay alive, we're good, and then we continue droning after that. So we'll use our gridlocks, drone more, because we know that Legion's dead underneath. We find the last one. We know he's here, so why would we push into him? We can just run to the other bomb site, right? We can just plant right over here. He doesn't know where we're at. And we probably want to get into a safer position where we're not getting wall banged. Do I have the advantage, guys? No, I do not. Because if he gets behind this desk, I'm in a really bad spot. But by rotating over, he's kind of forced to push into our Cali now. Now we have a crossfire. We're with our team. We're not losing the bomb. We're making a right choice because we gained the info to actually do it. So we took the space, we held the space, and then with that space, we can now make a good decision to confirm the fact that we're actually going to win the round, even though we didn't kill anybody, right? And the only person contesting us is just that Mozzie on site. We're essentially taking a 1v1 to determine whether or not we win the round. You know, a lot of people that are stuck in gold are also constantly talking about how they're constantly in these 1v5 situations, and they can't win 1v5s every round when they get terrible teammates. And the truth is, you can take those 1v5s and turn them into 1v1s if you just go for the site, like we saw right there. But at the same time, sometimes everybody will be on the bomb site, which is a case where, okay, now I'm actually taking a 1v5 by pushing the bomb site. Do I have the advantage? Remember we talked about figuring out how we can find the advantage? Well, we don't have the advantage if we're jumping into a bomb site into 5 people. But we can take all that extra space around the bomb site for free, or we can tear apart the bomb site, right? We can use our utility to try and get rid of some of the stuff that's stopping us. Anyway, we'll continue on with Clubhouse here, get back on track. Let's figure out what we want to do. Firstly, we have to find the bomb site. Secondly, we got to go for the bomb site. Hey, we're going to keep this up all the way to champion, guys. We're going to go direct as much as possible. The only time we're not going direct is when we're forced not to. For example, we could go for the bomb site, but they're actually holding the entire bomb site from other places on the map, like vertical or like other rooms. But the truth is, in gold, nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing it properly if they are. So if they are roaming, the roamers aren't actually stopping you from contesting and taking the site, which is why we don't need to clear them. We don't need to go kill those guys. They're not doing anything to stop our team from winning the round by just going and planting the bomb. Now, let's take a look at Clubhouse. We're on CCTV. Clubhouse is a very hard breacher heavy map. Just something I'll say right out of the gates. This map, hard breachers reign supreme. Same with wall denial, because you can develop such strong angles from there. Now, if we want to go directly for the bomb site, we can, but we got to be kind of cautious because there's not a lot of great spots to do it. I'm going to play Thermite. I'm going to play Thermite because hard breachers are good on this map, and if we can get the walls, fantastic, and if we can't, we'll figure something else out. So the biggest thing right now is this is kind of a bunker, this site, but there's direct entrances from the exterior site and garage. So if we want to go direct, we have to either, one, open the outside walls, hop in a window, or take a room that's adjacent to the site first. So we're kind of extending out our reach of what we actually have to take. So let's go see if this wall is electrified or not, right? We'll open up as many walls as we can. That's kind of our job on Thermite, but it also adds new avenues to actually push the site. We talked about that pressure a little bit on Canal just at that last round there, where the more things we open up, the more pressure, the more areas they have to watch. So we'll open up the window, we'll open up the exterior construction wall. We can even work this too. This construction window, look, our teammate's already in. Remember how we talked about identifying where our teammates are actually at? So we see our teammates in, so we can actually go push with them, but we gotta make sure we got these. I don't know where this default is that's scanning me. Maybe somebody else shot it. Yeah, I guess so. He's already in, but now he's dead. I mean, hey, that's the risk he took trying to run through the whole map, and somebody caught him. But if we can open up this wall, this is the bomb site, right? But what's the problem? If we hop in here and try to open this wall, what could go wrong? How do we get the advantage and what could go wrong? Well, he could shoot us up through the hatch. Is there anyone down there? No. So we're going to use our drone, figure what is actually clear. Is this all safe? Looks like it. So now we can hop in. We can take the space. We know we're safe. And we can open the wall. Now we can go directly for the bomb site. And we got to be careful because we could get pushed from other areas, right? Our flank is still not fully clear. This is kind of the downside of pushing this way, is now I could get flanked at any point. I don't really have the gadgets to deal with it. So I got to be kind of quick. If I want to actually push the site, I got to be quick about it. Otherwise, I might get flanked. So we'll try to take as little time as possible to actually figure out what's going on. We see they're all over red stairs here. So let's start working to push into that. We're holding angles as we push. We're going to use our utility to push too. And as that flashbang comes out, we can keep flashing this. We're going to push in off the flash using our utility. We don't need good aim. We're using our utility. Look at that. Beautiful. And now we're not getting flanked because of it. So we know we'll hear that. Right? We know we'll hear that barbed wire, so we don't need to watch it. We just need to watch this flank. This is the only spot we can die from. Right? Important to keep tabs on what we actually need to hold. And I'm not looking around. I'm not looking around like this. I'm holding an angle. He has to push through this door or this. And if he does, he's cut off. And there's that flank. That's what you got to worry about. And if ideally you can just get out. And just play this from outside on the rappel, right? If you can get outside the building, this is a nearly unlosable post plan because he has to eventually defuse the bomb. The win condition there is he has to defuse the bomb, and if he doesn't, we win. But he doesn't have the drones to figure out where we are, right? He doesn't have the cams outside the map. He has to peek the most disgusting angle of me on a rappel, or our Cali on a rappel, locking down that angle and hit the one tap on our head to actually win the round. Because without that, he can't defuse the bomb. So we're just trying to break the game with as many advantages as possible. We're not thinking, where's the Azami? He's in Master, go kill. We're thinking, where's the Azami? He's in Master. Where can he go from there, right? The last guy's here. How can he get to the diffuser? He has to come through all these angles, so I just need to chill out and hold the angle, right? Simplifying our movement, simplifying the gunfights we're taking, and most importantly, just not throwing away those easy wins time after time, which I mean, it's insane, and you might not notice it as much, but it happens all the time in these ranks where we're just throwing bodies and throwing rounds because that one guy in the 1v4 just locks in and wins it. And if you're the guy in the 1v4 who locks in and wins it, good for you, but also what could you have done better that round to not end up in the 1v4? We gotta back root our problems more and figure out how we actually got here in the first place. I think we might be too focused on the present moment and not focused on what can happen, where can they go, but also when we're analyzing that round back, how can I start gaining this advantage sooner? How can I identify this advantage and get into the position where I'm actually using it sooner so that if it is a better player, I can be ready to deal with them sooner on. I hope that makes sense. All right, so they're in the basement. Again, hard breachers are super good on this map. We could play a thermite, but he's banned. Okay. Why don't we play the ace? Sure. What's the most direct way to attack this bomb site? Well, this bomb site's this is a bunker, okay? There's no outside way we can get in. Outside of Dirt Tunnel, which does work because there's no flank route on Dirt Tunnel, right? So if we can get all the way down Dirt Tunnel, we can actually directly push into the bomb site. And because we're ace, we can open it up. So Dirt Tunnel is a good option, right? This is our number one option because we can't get flanked because we're coming from outside the map. So if it's free, you might as well take it. You can see it's already soft. So let's see. Is anybody playing it? Are they holding it? What's going on? So we have the drone on site. We actually figure out, okay, is site good? Well, the thing about Dirt Tunnel is once we walk in here, where are we going to kind of be exposed to? Well, they have a huge crossfire. They can be back armory. They can be here. They can be kind of all over the place. So it's a lot easier to take this if we just open the kitchen hatch first. This is something we probably want to drone, but we got our teammate already going here. It's what I call a human drone. If he runs right through, he's not going to. So we'll bring our other drone up. It's fine. We can take our time. No rush. No need to rush. We want to develop our fundamentals. We want to figure out how to play this smart. You see they're actually holding this from above. Okay, they're holding kitchen. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll go direct for the site. My whole team's going here. We might as well go with them. They want to put a roamer off the bomb site. All right. He actually is doing an effective job of stopping our push, but guess what? We got 3 people running your teammates down in sight, and we're planting the bomb. I don't need to do anything. I just have to stop them from pushing my teammate and killing them. That's it. That's it. If you don't get there and kill my teammate, we win. So I'm using this advantage, this nice little angle. Hold it. We could even throw flashbangs if we need to. We just hold. They got to defuse and we can't get flanked, so we just need to hold the site. Right? We just got to stop them from crossing over, which means we can't just hide forever, right? Because then he could essentially go here and just defuse the bomb from here and we can't see him from dirt. But because he's not doing that, we hold this, we wait, we don't need to look for the kill. We have the advantage in this fight because we have so much cover and he's going to be fully exposed in the open. Good to go. Fantastic callouts. If you have teammates that just freak out at you, just mute them, guys. Muting your teammates is one of the most effective strategies in this rank because people are so toxic. and they're so focused on just kills. They'll call you dog for just not getting any kills. Get your frags up. You see it time and time again. These people are morons, guys, okay? We're dealing with morons here. But that doesn't mean you're one. And the truth is, you're not a moron if you decide to change your attitude when you get information that makes it make sense. So like maybe you're the guy right now that you play the game and you get mad and you freak out and you only play for kills and you're watching this because you have been stuck in gold, and that's fine. You know, this is where you're at, and that happens. You're only a moron if you watch this whole video and then continue playing like that and continue acting like that. Otherwise, you're not a moron. You're just a guy who didn't have, you know, the perspective or the opinion to actually figure it out. So maybe that's this guy, you know. I don't even think it's fair for me to call him a moron at that point, because this is just how he sees the game, and he doesn't have, you know, the insight to actually change the way he approaches it. A lot of people don't, and that's, you know, that's why we kind of just have to accept people where they're at, along with our teammates and the way they play and the way they use their mics and call us garbage. It's fine. It's fine because they don't understand it from another perspective, and that's okay. And you shouldn't take that personally. So even if somebody on my team, you know, calls me garbage and screams at me, we need to locate a bomb. Sometimes I will get upset, but, you know, the goal is to just kind of understand it from that perspective, I think. I think that helps a lot in terms of just being chill. Like, really, like, if you just chill out and play the game and try to learn and, you know, try to do things that make sense and really focus on what you're doing, the game becomes a whole lot easier. Anyway, we're going to go back to the direct site takes. They're on gym. We're going to play the ace. What is the most direct approach to this bomb site? A lot of people will go through CCTV. They'll push here, take all this space, come through the map, then they inevitably hit the choke point of the site door. Why not just, like, take away all that risk? Like, yes, we're still pushing into a choke point, but we don't have to take the risk of being flanked at the same time. So whether you're going direct or not going direct, you're still inevitably hitting a choke point. Whether you get the kills on the other side of the map or not, you're funneling into a choke point that the defenders can just hold you from. So you might as well just do it in a way where you're not getting flanked so that you can just work the choke point without the flank potential. Like we did with Thermite, we worked the choke point, but we could have got flanked at any moment, so we're just adding extra risk that doesn't need to be there. So we're going to go up, we're going to open this wall, we'll just open it all the way. Doesn't matter, just open this wall up, then we can actually start working this choke point, because pushing into this breach is a choke point. They can have a crossfire on it. A lot of places they can play. So once we open it, we just want a drone. You see our teammate just running in the building again. That's fine, let him do his thing. Maybe he gets a kill. It's not going to matter a lot, but you see, now we're direct on site, and the site is actually kind of free. So why don't we just walk in here and plant the bomb, right? We see the site is free. This is all air jabbed off. They are holding main, but just run past this clash shield. Oh, and what do you know? We actually don't have the diffuser. So that's fine. We're on the site. We're in the great position to plant the bomb. We just don't have it. So instead, we'll just hold the bomb site. We'll hold this site till someone comes and plant. You can come plant. I'm in the site. Let them know. Shoot the Capcan traps. Hold an angle. Are we safe? Yep, we're not exposed to that. So let's hold an angle. See if anyone swings into it. There could be a guy bathroom, right? So we'll just keep holding this. Good to go. Now, there could be a guy in bathroom, so we'll just keep holding this. No, but again, they're roamers. What are they doing? Nothing. Why? Because we're planting. We're planting the bomb. We can actually hold con now, so we see our teammate die from main, so we'll just hold this. Again, we're not exposed to our right. Gotta take these fights one at a time. And just use our flashbang to hold them off, right? Use our cover. We don't need good aim. We just need to use our cover, keep that advantage. He's got to swing into me, right? There we go. And this guy's got to defuse the bomb, so we just got to hide and seek him. We just got to stay alive and use our cover, and that's the power of planting the bomb, guys, right? We're holding the angle. They're pushing into it. It's the exact same thing we want to be doing on defense. If the attackers all run at us on defense, and we're just holding the angles and playing in these really powerful, advantageous positions, like on the weight rack where we have all the cover and the castle's in the middle of the open, all the attackers are just going to die. Like, they're just running into our guns, right? As long as we're actually holding the angle. But a lot of the time, those attackers are running in, and then if you're also playing the traps, playing the Legion, playing the Thorn, playing the Aruni, then they're also tanking all those traps at the same time, giving you even more advantage. But on attack, we got powerful guns. Holding those angles becomes a lot easier. AK-12, whatever. Direct site take, not a single person on the site. I have the bomb. We do that even sooner, and we have even more people alive to deal with all that pressure. It's crazy how easy this game is once we just simplify and go direct. Now, we don't want them to do that. If they do that, life gets tough, like we saw on the yellow round on Canal. So let's stop them from doing that. Playing the Thorn, playing the yellow, right? The things we already talked about. So we'll play the Thorn. You can run M870. You can run the UZK. I just run the M870 so I can do the sight setup. And I would recommend that because the C75 it's a great weapon. Like, it's really good. It's tough because, you know, it really depends on your level of skill. And that varies a lot in gold. So if you can use the gun, run the shotgun. If you can't use the gun, don't run the shotgun. However, you might lose a lot of capability if you don't have the shotgun. Like right there, for example, I can just push right into gym because they don't even have a bathroom rotate. Like, they don't have anybody stopping me from walking in because they have no pressure. They have nothing holding it. They're trying to hold it from main, but my teammate's behind them, right? So let's break this pipe. We're going to set up main. So how do we stop them from running across here? We just open a rotate here. Now all of a sudden when they walk in this breach, they're exposing themselves to main stairs. They're exposing themselves to gym angles. They're also exposing themselves to this, and they have to cross this. So if we have a guy in bathroom, now you're walking into a shotgun, right? So that makes things a whole lot easier. In terms of main stairs, if they get up main stairs, it's going to be a lot harder too. So just plop some barbed wire down there. Now at least you have info, right? What else did we do last round? We had this guy just drop the hatch. He didn't use a single drone. Okay. So if they want to do that, there we go. There's another thorn trap. That'll probably kill them. We'll combo it with barbed wire if we really want. And we make another rotate because if we reinforce both of these off and they do take CC all for free, now they don't have to worry about getting flanked. They can only focus this choke point, and now we have less flank potential, and they're at less risk as attackers. So again, just thinking about from advantage and flank potential, it's really a good way of looking at it, in my opinion. Now, they did have a good setup here. They had the setup actually correct, where you have the footholds, you have the wall reinforced. Problem is they didn't have anyone in bedroom, so they couldn't actually capitalize on those holes. Now we hear this ram coming main stairs, but they didn't open the breach, so we can just sit here with a shotgun. We can even just contest that main walk up by throwing another trap. So because they're not opening this breach, I have a nice safe spot to play, and that's what I'm going to do. So we know they're on main because they already broke the barb. I did hear them punching it. You might not have heard that, but that's okay. And again, we see nobody on our team is on the site, so we absolutely need to be on the site in this situation. If we have everyone on site, might be better for us not to be on the site, because then they can take all of con, they can take main, they can take logi, they can work the windows as well. There's going to be a lot of pressure. And again, another reason you should mute your teammates is because most callouts they make are wrong. And this is a prime example, right? So this guy's either using his mic to be a jerk, or he's just making bad callouts. So I mean, that's when you hit the mute and you're like, okay, don't need to hear that, because a lot of the time bad callouts are much worse than no callouts at all. Now, if you want to be worried about the windows, there you go. Now they can't get in there without first hitting the trap. And at this point, we have every single area clear. We have traps on literally every single area except for construction where our teammates are literally playing. So all we have to do now is just stay alive to actually act on it. And we hear that one go off logistics, so we can actually move into a position to contest this guy. He's got to push through this gate on us, so we're actually okay to hold this for now. I'm not exposing myself to main. I'm holding the angle. I'm not looking around doing nothing. I'm holding an angle, right? Now that we know that there's a potential threat, we just need to hold. They have to push because they're on attack. We're not running at them. We're not swinging at them. We also have a one-man advantage, so there's no need to get aggressive because they're pushing into all of us. I'm not going to get pinched from every side because all these guys are holding different areas and they're holding different space that I don't need to worry about. When a guy dies, that changes, but we're still okay for now. This guy did drop. He can't escape once he drops, so we know he's stuck in there unless he rotates through. If we just hold for now, we're in a very good position because, again, eventually they have to plant the bomb. Can I upgrade this anyway? Well, I have no cover. I have no cover, so what if I did something like this? Now I'm on a little head glitch. Now it's 1v2, so now we got to get aggressive. Now they still have to plant the bomb. There's not a lot of time. Remember, this guy can come behind me.
Down to 15 seconds.
Gonna hold this for if he pushes through. He's gonna expose himself to a lot of different angles. Make him plant the bomb. Just hold. He doesn't need to know I'm here.
5 seconds left.
Now he's planting. We can just walk up and shoot him. Easy peasy. He doesn't know where I am. Why? Because they didn't have any time to drone the bomb set out because they wasted all their time baiting, doing nothing, right? They're baiting for kills. Our teammates, they're all feeding them kills. But we're not going to be that guy. We're just going to stay alive, make them plant, play the way we should, which is stopping them from planting the bomb. And if we can do that, we're going to win. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean you have to play like this. I just want to be clear. This is the way to play if you want to win, not if you want to have fun. It's okay to sacrifice winning for having fun, but you have to be aware of the fact that having fun doesn't equal best strategy. Like, it's good, and you will play better if you're having fun. Like, you'll enjoy yourself more, your aim will be better, you won't be, like, freaking out, obviously, you won't hate your life, which is awesome. I mean, I am a big advocate for having fun in this game. But in terms of straight-up advice, it's straight-up tutorial, straight-up getting better and winning, this is the stuff, guys. That's all I'm saying. But you want to have fun? Run around the map. Go shoot people, dude. That's the beauty of the game. You can do whatever you want. You can come up with a creative strategy that might work, you know, in that one round, but it might not be fundamental, but it's going to be fun. Screw fundamentals. Let's have fun. Am I right? Anyway, we're going to play smoke here. No real rhyme or reason. We got barbed wire, so we got a little bit of info. Again, if you want to win, you play Thorn or Malusi or Ella or whatever, but smoke's a fun operator. So we're going to switch up and have a little bit of fun. We're going to keep learning stuff, okay? We're all chilling here. Now remember, we don't want to all be roaming. We all don't want to all be on site. So when you load into that first game of the match, firstly, you want to do site setup as best you can. If you know the site setup's great. If you don't, you know, you'll learn them over time. I wouldn't freak out too much about them, but they will help you win more if you do the right setups. But what we're going to do basically is place our barbed wire down. We're going to figure out where our teammates are playing and what they're doing, and then we're going to position ourselves based off of them. Now, one thing we can also incorporate is those default cameras to actually figure out where the attack spawns. So we can either position ourselves off our teammates or position ourselves based off the enemy's push. If they all spawn east side, for example, then we know they're all there. There's no point of holding over here. We might as well go contest that space instead. So we're extending out a little bit, just some info if they try to walk up this staircase, because if they hold this, it's a really strong angle. Just trying to eliminate that advantage. You know, our teammates, where does it seem like they're playing? Okay, the top spiral, yellow. Okay, so we're kind of covering most of the areas, right? The different areas they can actually come from. Try to see if we can figure out where the attack is. Not getting too much info. That's fine. One thing I did notice as well when I watched back some of the silver guide is, or I was watching back the games from it rather. Hold up, these guys are rushing. I think we just chill for a sec. I think they're rushing. I don't know. I'm hearing some stuff. One thing I noticed when I'm watching back is when I was watching back the match replay, when I'm in gunfights, I'm doing a lot of like uncrouching and crouching. Not a ton, but every time I shoot at an enemy, let's say I take a fight on a guy like this, I'm repositioning immediately. So if I hold an angle like this, and the guy peeks into it and I miss, I'm not going to keep holding that angle. I'm going to change it up slightly so I'm at a new spot that he can't just pre-fire the next time he peeks it. So we constantly want to be changing up our angle if that's the case. Now, they have admin control. They technically can plant the bomb on this side of the wall, which I can deny with a smoke grenade. I don't actually know if this will reach down far enough to stop the plant, but all we have to do is just stop them from planting and stop them from pushing. If we just stay alive, we're going to win this round. Now I can hear this gate can be reset, so we'll peek into this. We'll just smoke it off, and then we can push up. Now this will actually let us hold this angle close. They're not going to push that smoke probably. Even if they do, we have this gate reset now. So now we just need to really... Oh, that's open. Okay, that's fine. We can use our shotgun. It's fine. We're in a close range with a shotgun. We do have an advantage just because we have a shotgun here. If they push through this gate, it'll also disorient them a bit. We can't smoke through the gate, obviously, because it'll just burn it. But we can always swing onto this if we start losing man count or we need to. Or we get droned, for example. If we get droned, they're going to be able to pre-fire us in this corner, which is when we'll have to potentially get aggressive because we're kind of trapped here now, right? We're trapped. We're held from behind, and we're held from this doorway. But we can also use the smokes to escape if we need to. So we're just listening for sound on our backside push. We do have to hold this gate because we are exposed to the other side, right? He can shoot me without pushing this gate. Even if I look away, like he can just walk in and shoot me, like tank the gate, for example. It's still 2v3, so we're still chilling, just still holding, using this shotgun. If he peeks into it, he's getting a blast to the chest, which is great. Now, it sounds like there's one guy over by our teammates. We can just sit and wait. ADS. In case he walks through here, he could crouch walk through, right? The guy's probably not on this gate. He probably rotated knowing he can't push through it. We hear the barbed wire spiral, so we can actually reset this even. The only problem with resetting that is we can't use our smokes, but do we have an advantage? We know he's here. If he pushes here, do I have an advantage? Yes. The answer is yes. Hold the angle. We'll keep holding the angle. See if he walks into it. He's not droned us, so he doesn't know that we're here. So we're just fine.
15 seconds.
Now, 15 seconds. They could push my frost technically, so I'll just smoke that, but just keep holding.
10 seconds.
Just keep holding. He's got to push in right. He could come through this wall on the right of us, but he has no idea where we're at. Again, it's why we got to... I mean, it's just another reason why we should go direct for the bomb site, because it's way easier time-wise, because you don't have to clear a ton of rooms You just have to deal with the one choke point and you're in. So, again, more advocation for going directly for the bomb site if possible. I mean, you can't do it on every single site, you know, like the basement of Clubhouse where there's not like a direct option outside that dirt tunnel, I guess. Villa is a great example where most of the bomb sites are interior. You have to get through other rooms to actually get to them. Excuse me. But yeah, super simple round. Just holding and then playing off numbers. Holding, positioning yourself based off our teammates, gaining advantages in gunfights, and then if we have to get aggressive, we do. If we don't, we don't. That's really it. If we don't have to get aggressive, we just chill out and have a good time. We could play smoke again if we want it. We're on the basement site, so wall denial is also going to be good here. Remember, info. We got lots of info, so why don't we just play the wall denial? If we bring the TCSG, we can actually... we can make the rotates with it. I'm going to bring the C4 just because we have the Capcan, we have the Thorn, we have the Frost, we have the Legion. We have tons of traps, which is fantastic. And then, you know, if we can keep the main wall shut, I mean, life is going to be a lot easier. Like we saw on that top floor round of Clubhouse where we kept it shut, not because we were at wall now, but because they just didn't open it. So, of course, it's easier if you can keep the wall shut, but it shouldn't be your only priority. And I think a lot of the time, especially moving up from gold, it's the only thing people really focus about, which is just like, we need wall denial, we have to keep the wall shut. And I think that is slightly, like a slight distraction from what actually matters, which is holding space of the map. So anyway, we'll reinforce the main wall. Ideally, we get this hatch. Can somebody get the hatch? We'll ask our team. You know, maybe they do it, maybe they don't. But what's important right now is we actually get the site setup done, which is connecting the bomb sites, connecting into security, and this will kind of allow us to hold, you know, a lot of these main pushes from back here. So even if they do get the wall open, we're playing it from way back. Now, I'll show you a quick tip with Cade, because a lot of people make this mistake. A lot of people see Cade and just bring Striker with hard breach and EMPs, which is a mistake because you can miss the Cade claws. You can also get Cade tricked. There's a lot of ways around it. So what we'll do is we'll Cade the hatch, because the hatch is really, really strong on this bomb site. So we'll just shut that. And then we're going to Cade the wall like this. At the side, if he hard breaches, or if he EMPs the top and the bottom, he's actually going to miss this Cade claw. But the other thing we can do is we can, excuse me, this radio is really distracting, is we can pick up the Cade claw and replace it down. So they EMP'd it. So I'll pick this up again. Oh, we were actually a little too slow, I think, because we weren't right by the Cade claw, which is fine. He must have had a drone on it because he hit exactly where it was, so he must have known right where we placed that claw. So there might be a drone here somewhere, so we can actually infer that, you know, from the information. He may have droned just through the drone hole too. So they have the wall shut, so we just don't want to expose ourselves to it. Again, where's the advantage? Well, we have an advantage on this, right? We have a little pixel on them. If they push into our angle, we're basically just shooting them in the face. Our team's all watching the backside, right? So we're positioning ourselves off of them. So we know they're holding this. I just need to hold the front. I just need to stop this one guy. We hear this guy pushing now. Just keep holding. We have quite a big advantage, right? And we don't actually have to hold the breach because he has to vault in through it. We hear him, though. We hear him, so we know he's there. So, again, just holding these angles. I was wrong. He can just crouch walk in through that one. So, it sounds like he's repelling out. So, we got the breach, but it's not going to matter when his whole team is dead, right? So, now, do something like this. Hold the walk into yellow. Do we have an advantage? Not really, because we're kind of in the middle of the open. So, let's get the advantage. There we go. Now, if he comes yellow, I don't think he's frying us off this angle, gentlemen. And if he comes breach, we can still hold it from here where he's crouch walking into this. So those hard breach tools are actually might be the death of him if he decides to go breach. But, you know, Capcan's holding angles. Everything is covered. There's nowhere this way this guy's going to sneak in and kill everyone. So we just chill out and hold, and we don't throw the round, unlike our teammates who want to get aggressive. I hope he kills him. You know, I hope this guy dies just to prove the point. Like, this guy's in the middle of the open now. No advantage in the fight. Striker has a better weapon, and he knows he's pushing into him. So Striker's actually using the advantage angles, but it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. I mean, you will still lose those gunfights at times. There you go. He wasn't actually ready for him on the ground. A better player would just hear the guy proning and then pre-fire him, but, you know, still pushing into a choke point at the end of the day. Again, it's why the direct takes are so good, because their team tries to come through the entire backside. What happens? Oh, they all got destroyed. They all got destroyed because they didn't have the right tools, and they have to clear so much stuff. But if they just go direct, life gets a whole lot easier, and I'll show you some really strong direct takes on this map when we actually pivot to the attack. So let's go piano room next. I just like piano better. I think it's easier to defend. Thorn is super, super good on this site. We could also go to the roam, but we've already seen our teammates have been roaming a lot. And again, once we're hitting these ranks, it's all about filling those gaps in, which usually is just the bomb site. But if it's not, well, then we can get a little active and do some fun stuff. Why don't we switch it up? I mean, we've played the trap so much. I think it would be fun just to do something fun. Let's play the cav. Let's play the cav. So we see we have, again, another heavy info, another heavy trap lineup, which is fantastic. You'd love to see the trap lineups because it just makes everything easier. And these are all operators we can actually play off of their abilities. So it's not like, what's a trap operator that you can't really play off of as much? Like a Legion, for example. You might not know where the Legion mines are at. You know, they're harder to see, so it's harder to know if something's actually covered. Whereas if you see an Aruni gate on doorway, you know nobody can actually push through there. Fenrir is another one where the Fenrir mines might be off, or you don't know where they're at because they're so well hidden. You know, and it's a little harder to read into. But all of these are ones that are really easy to play around. So what we're going to do instead this time is we're going to start on the roam and see if that actually does anything. But our roam is going to be purposeful. We're not just running around the map looking for kills. Actually, we might do that. We might do that off the start. We're going to do that off the start. And that's only because we're cav. This is a niche situation. I mean, I wouldn't advocate for it, but we have vertical on the bomb site. This is where we actually want to roam. This is what we actually want to hold because we're basically contesting all the bomb sites from above and all the entrances in. So if they want to go direct for the bomb site, it's fine because we're above to actually contest it. So let's see if they spawn anyone over here. We're trying to look for one guy that basically just pushes it on its own. It might be this guy coming through the basement. So we might be able to catch this guy coming through the basement by himself. We see that he's going down to this yellow door. So we'll go there really quick. We'll rotate into it. He hits his frost mat. He's a goner. He's going far too fast. So we're picking off that one guy that goes way too fast. And now we have an easy interrogation, which makes the entire round just that much easier. And now we know, you know, basically their entire plan. Okay, they're on the roof. They have the Zero. They have the Jackal. Where's the next guy that's alone? Well, it's this Finka. So we can actually rotate into Visa. Get ready to contest him or the Aruni, depending on who comes. But we have this Capcan trap, so we don't really need to do this. But we might as well, you know, if they don't drone it, they're going to just walk into us. Do we have the advantage in this fight? Yep. Why? Because he's exposed to a lot of angles, he doesn't know we're here, and we have the cover of the wall. And going prone makes us even smaller. Now, they have a guy lobby, and Aruni's actively fighting him, so that might be a potential flank as well. We hear this guy shoot the Capcans, so we'll just rotate in to see if he actually walks down. If he walks down, he's walking into our pistol. We'll have another easy interrogation. But we do hear this Finka coming, so we got to be aware of that. Do we have the advantage? We did, but he must know we're here because he's pre-firing us, so we'll just leave. If he knows you're there, go somewhere else, because now you're still alive, and if you're alive, you can then find those advantages and find those spots again. So I'm not doing anything crazy, just like holding the angle, you know, because we have so much cover, makes it a whole lot easier. Now we want to come up, because are we actually doing anything right now? Not really, but if we hold this, now we're stopping them from walking across to benches to actually fight our teammates. The thing is, once we push through this doorway, we're exposing ourselves to a ton of angles, and you'll see that once it is right now. So, you know, they could be here, could be here, could be there, and that's what we're more concerned about. 2v3. What's the plan, guys? Oh, they just hit an Aruni gate. That makes life scary, right? Use the cover. We're going to have to get the fights back, though. We're going to have to get aggressive back because we're a man down. There we go. There's that man disadvantage regained. This guy just got on a drone. We can actually push him now while he's on the drone. I'm just going to hold because this other guy's in sight, right?
Yeah, one's down. And then the other
Hold the angle. This Finka can revive, but we have the bomb. Where do we have an advantage? In the corner with the shotgun out. We swing onto him to gain even more advantage. We're okay. We hear him snaking on the ground. Great time to go up. Again, we can just pre-fire. He's got a plant, so we can actually just run away. Wait for him to plant, right?
10 seconds left.
Sounds like he popped that pipe to get rid of us.
5 seconds remaining.
Wait for the plant. Sounds like he's planting. There we go. And we didn't kill him. Okay, I suck. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That pipe's super loud. He actually made a really good play of shooting the pipe, right? Because then I can't hear him planting as well. I mean, realistically, I could have like leaned in and smoked him, but because that pipe's so loud, you probably didn't hear him. But we played our time well. We did have an advantage. And, you know, we did a good job. Realistically, you can probably just keep fighting that Jackal. You have the shotgun. You're in the close range. There's not really any reason to run away. Outside of the fact that if the pipe's not there and if he doesn't shoot the pipe, you're going to be able to play that really well with the audio. You can kind of hear when he runs, hear when he starts planting, then you can bait him a little bit more. But he's fully in the open. I honestly thought he was going to be lower health and I would be able to kill him. But the Finka may have changed that. So it's fine. It's fine. You lose a round. You lose a clutch. Hey, guys, it happens. We all lose clutches. Am I going to freak out? Am I going to cry? Am I going to call myself bad? No, I'm just going to evaluate it later on. Go watch in the match replay and see how I could have done it better. Moving on, we're finally on the attack. We can do some direct takes, which are so lethal and so strong. And we're going to go try to actually plant the bomb on the bomb site. Believe it or not, guys, we're going to plant the bomb. Now, there's a couple things we can do on this top floor site to reduce risk and actually get in and gain control, right? Gaining space on the bomb site with or without the diffuser gives you a lot of power because it allows your teammates to bring that diffuser. You can lock the defenders out of the site. And if you have an operator like Gridlock or Nomad, again, you can stop them from pushing in on you. And this is just, we're just playing into the fundamentals and leaning into it. And you can do this without Gridlock and Nomad. You know, you have multiple people. All of a sudden you have a guy holding something for you. Wow, things get elevated. But the more we understand these basic principles, the higher up in the ranks they will take us. So we can go direct for the bomb site here. They have the Souls underneath. They also have the Thorns, so there's a lot of things actually contesting us right now. So what I'm going to try to do is go through this CEO window. So I kind of know what their setup looks like. We have this Denari setup, which is actually really weak. We can actually just fully exploit that if we want. But what we'll do first is we'll try to get the bomb site. If we can first get the bomb site, you know, if the bomb site's free, great. If it's not, that's when we can start adding risk into our gameplay. So we go for the most low-risk approach first, which is take the bomb site. If you, I feel like I've said that 10 million times now. I'm wearing down. I'm wearing it. I'm grinding it into your brains. It will not lose its truth. Now we could gridlock off our runouts. I don't think I need to right now. Now we're gonna take the risk of potentially being run out on. That you just got to kill that guy if he's outside the map. Obviously, we have wall hacks on him. So what we can do is open up this site window, see what's going on, figure out if there's any traps, any utility, use our nades to get rid of it, right? So again, this is the choke point. How do we deal with it? I guess we don't have to deal with it because they're running through the choke point for some reason. So I accidentally blew my drone up, which is not great. That's fine. So we can't actually clear the shield, but there's nobody behind it, so we can probably just do one of these. See if he swings into it, right? We have the advantage in this fight. But if he's completely gridlocked off, we're pretty safe to just repel in, right? Because he can't push, so we hear the phone call. We're going to repel in off of that. We're going to jump right back out because we hear the thorn trap there. And then we won't die to it. So that thorn trap's gone. It sounds like he's crossed now. Do we have the advantage in this fight? Absolutely. Absolutely we do. We don't have any tracks left, so now repelling in gets a little scary. Where are our teammates at? Let's wait for them. Let's just wait for them. We have a minute and a half. We use our utility so well, we have a minute and a half. If we lose the bomb and die, then this guy can win the round. They're pushing up, so I think it's safe to repel in. We'll start planting. Pushing up on us, so let's use this shotgun. We have the advantage in the fight, right? There we go. Our teammates are on them. There's no point of planting the bomb when we can just keep this crossfire, right? What if the Vigil... What if it's just the Monty, you know? We don't want to give the Vigil the 1v1. So it makes it a lot easier if we just push within our teammate when we know that guy's trapped there. We can plant, and we can play the post plant, play it like it's a 1v1. But you don't need to play it like a 1v1 if you are in the spot to be a really, really strong teammate and really help your team. Yeah, maybe the Vigil smokes me there, but he's not killing both me and the Monty, right? So either way there, we're pretty much guaranteed to win the round. Whether we plant or we take the fight, I don't think it's wrong either option, but both two great options. Planting the bomb because we have the site, because we worked for it. We also have the pressure coming from yellow, so we're positioned based off our teammates too, and we have other control. So overall, really strong take, and especially with that Monty. Monty is an operator that is just absolutely ruthless because he automatically gives you free coordination, right? If this guy's fighting a Monty, Monty can at any time unextended shield start shooting him. Meanwhile, I'm also shooting the guy too. So if I start shooting the guy, Monty unextends, now he's shooting him. Now you have an immediate crossfire, plus you're super safe to just walk through basically everything. So Monty is a fantastic operator, but I don't have to glaze Monty for 10 years. Here's one thing we could do though. If you're in gold, you might have friends. Probably not though, because we're all, nah, you do. I'm just kidding. You probably have friends. So you have friends, you play Monty, life is good. I'm not going to lie. That's the strat right here. if you're in gold, you can start actually using some strategies. Now, you know, most of the, at least if you've been following these videos and you understand the fundamentals, that's when your strategies start to get better. So if you have a teammate who likes the shields, likes playing the Monty, get him on the Monty, gentlemen. Bring a Finka with the Monty. Now he's even more difficult to kill. So we saw how good that opening that breach was on this last round. But what we can also do once we start to get up to these ranks is just try to combo our operators together and work with our team. So yes, clearing the entire map and not going direct for the bomb site does add risk, but it's a lot less risky when you're doing it with a shield who can clear all the angles first. And then you have other people to pick up the slack where the shield misses. So let's play the Nomad. So we're clearing through clearly with the Monty here. And by following him up and using the Nomads, now we're eliminating the risk essentially with the shield and then using the air jabs to eliminate the risk of the flanks after that point. So we're just going to follow him. We're going to pick this Monty. Let's say it's just our random or it's our duo or whatever. We're going to follow him around the map. Let's see where he wants to go. I would guess he just wants to go in here. We got the buck too. Now, it looks like they're droning, so we might as well drone with them, Clear whatever he's not clearing. Clearly he's trying to take Visa, it looks like. I don't know if he's going for the stairs or for the hatch, but if he is going for this hatch, Buck's already in. We might as well go with him. So we can drop an air jab on our flank, as well as this one, because we didn't clear that, right? Wherever we didn't clear, we're just going to air jab. The Monty really doing his job quite well, but he's getting there. So this is air jab, so now we can just start working for, the other areas. Can they push from here? Yep, so we'll just air jab it. All right, we're in the bomb site. Monty's pushing off of that. Okay, and our Monty, he decided to ADS, which, we don't recommend, but we'll just hold the space. We have a lot of pressure. Do we have an advantage? No. What are they going to do? Probably swing onto us. Let's get this advantage. We'll hold it from here. Now, this is the choke point again. So we cleared all this space, and we took a lot of control. But at the end of the day, we are pushing into this choke point again. I did not think that would land, but he's the best. So we're pushing into the choke point, but we don't really have anything that we can use to actually get past that choke point, which is why it's so much easier to just have the plan from the start of, walking it, or sorry, have the plan from the start of just going direct and then having all the tools to actually do what you want. Where if we have to pick the Nomad and we have to air jab the flanks, this guy downed him, which is nice. If we pick the Nomad and we use our air jabs on the flanks, well, that's all our utility gone now. Now we only have the flashes to break out into the site. But if we know that we're going direct, if we know we're going through that window ahead of time because we've droned it, we see their ops, we see kind of what they're doing, and we have all the tools to actually do that, it makes it a lot easier to actually get in through that choke point because we've already planned for it. But by the time we get there, it's like, okay, now we found the choke point. Our team is dead. What do we do? Well, now we kind of have to hope that, one, they get overly aggressive, or two, that we can safely drone somehow to actually gain more info. But I think we may have lost our drone. Maybe just droning there is the best option, but we're kind of in a spot where we don't have the option to drone because they can push out on us. Now, that doesn't disregard the fact that I should have probably moved from the C4. I mean, if I'm playing this in Champion, I'm just going to look over and shoot that C4 or jump up onto the planks and try to fight the guy kitchen. I honestly thought there's no way this guy C4s me because that makes no sense because I thought he was C4ing deep, but I guess he knew I was there, which, to be fair, he did check the corner, so totally valid. I'm just trying to measure, I'm trying to measure the average skill of the golds right now and try to feel out, what level I should be playing at that makes the most sense for your guys' progress. And I think we're at it. I think we're okay. We are 3-2. Keep in mind, another very defender-sided map. Not a lot of direct routes. A lot of choke points. That's why it's so much easier for the defenders because once you hit those choke points, like the Monty, this guy doesn't know what to do. And a big hurdle you're going to have to get over once you get to this is how do you actually deal with choke points? How do you actually get through that doorway where they have a bunch of angles onto you? Is the answer to drop your shield as Monty and start ADSing people? Well, no, because now you're getting shot in the face by the guy you're ADSing and in the side of the head, and you've lost all your advantage. The goal is to take more space, have other directions you're coming from, and this is also why it's important to play off your teammates positionally, right? So instead of just pushing with them like we did that round, we also want to position ourselves in other areas that give us the crossfire. So when our whole team's pushing yellow, we're on the window, and we're coming spiral, and we have these crossfires into the bomb site, right? But if we're all coming down this hallway and we air jab it off, we don't have any crossfires from up here onto kitchen. We don't have security control, so we don't have the crossfire from the rotate, right? Meanwhile, we're all just kind of funneled in a hallway, and then they can just have the crossfires onto us. So we are on this top floor again. Is there any other direct sites takes we can do? Well, there is. There is more direct side takes we can do.
10 seconds.
There is, there's one. I guess there's one other outside wall we can use, which is the death balcony, which a lot of people watch. You know, there's this guy yelled, this balcony right here.
The bomb. Make your way to its
So
location.
we can go through that, or you can kind of do like a slightly less direct route that also works really well, which is the bathroom window or the spiral window, and then get past the choke point of spiral, or that bathroom door is another choke point. But once you're in there, then you're in the site. So you have options. You have options. This is the one we're going to go for. We're basically going to try to open up this main wall, apply pressure to the bomb site, use our drone to figure out what's going on, and most importantly, just stay alive, keep the pressure up, and go from there. Now, we could have probably played the Thermite knowing that there's no Cade, but just in case, we bring the Maverick. Now, we don't know what's on the other side of this wall, so I'm not going to get too crazy quite yet. We could get C4'd here, but we should be able to hear it.
We can push forward.
So we have this wall open. There's that C4 rip. Oh, we threw it through the window. What's the problem right now, though? So, remember how we talked about checking out what our teammates are doing? Where's our team all positioned right now? Well, we're all positioned on this main breach, right? So after we get this down, should we keep pushing here? Is this a good plan? Well, the only problem is we're kind of all pushing into one choke point, which means they can just hold angles onto it. So why don't we go somewhere else? Let's add pressure somewhere else. We can simply drop the bomb for our team, let them do that. Let's go for a different direct side take. Okay. So, yo, window. I mean, we did it last time. Why not go for it again? We can still add pressure. Get on this rappel. You know, they had a lot of utility on this last time, so let's just get rid of it. So now we've rotated off because we want to position ourselves around our team. All right. Looks like we got some runouts coming, boys. We're definitely getting up in the ranks. That was the first time I've been run out in this series, so now we got to learn how to deal with that too, which is good. This is good. That is a risk of going to the rappel. You know, they can hop out on you. Normally, we'd want to kind of be prepared for that. I wasn't, though. Why? Because I'm simply a gold gentleman. I didn't know a runout exists. What, they can jump out of the map on me now, too? Okay. We're going to have to deal with that as well. That's honestly a great counter. Like, this guy just had that counter play of playing underneath the Solus. If we go to the rappel and we Claymore it, for example, he can shoot the Claymores. But if we go to the rappel and we don't Claymore, he can just hop out and get us, so that's well played, right? He's contesting and countering what we just did, which is really good, and we love to see that. Not as an opponent, but as a gold, we love to see the... I love to see you guys being in gold countering the other team's pushes, because that's going to be important, too, as you start to increase in rank. And I think that guy actually had an Emerald background, so he's probably hit Emerald before, but you can really tell because he knows, okay, last time they went CO repel, they add a lot of pressure, they broke all utility, and they end up repelling in through there. So if I stop them from doing that by jumping out and killing them early, or, you know, playing Solus below for the plant, then they're not going to be able to plant, they're not going to be able to win the round, right? If they can't plant, they can't win. Can this guy plant? No. He doesn't know who the last guy is. We ran out of time. Big thing there, though, is, you know, if our whole team's on that balcony, we can't all push from there. That is very, very important. We try to go a different route. That's when we add the risk, right? So we've added risk by changing up and going to that rappel with no prior info, no drones, nothing. So we've added the risk of, okay, he might run out on us, but that's a risk we're going to have to accept, because if we all stack on that balcony, we're going to lose the round either way. So we might as well just deal with it now and add the risk in hopes of winning the round. So now we're kind of dabbling with some more advanced territory here, gentlemen, which there's no way around it. There's no way around it. You know, you do the directs as long as you can. You know, abuse all the mistakes you see in your teammates. But sometimes, or sorry, the other team, you abuse the mistakes you see in the other team, but sometimes that's just not enough to win rounds, and that's okay. You're also not going to win every game, right? That's important to keep in mind. Like, as long as you're winning more games than you're losing, you're going to rank up. But at the same time, if you're not getting better, you're not going to rank up. And you're going to start losing more when you start ranking up more, because you can play better players. And if you're not moving alongside them and improving alongside them, you're going to be left behind, gentlemen. You're going to be left behind. Anywho, we're in overtime. They'll probably go top floor. They did have a pretty solid hold right there. They are basement. Okay, that's absolutely fine. We've got some really good operator picks for this bomb site. We've got Cade, we've got Denari, we've got Clash. These are very, very strong operators. So I like to see it coming out from the other team, but now I have to ask, what can I actually do to attack this bomb site? Is there a direct take for this basement site? Not a single one. There's not a single way we can get into the bomb site from the outside of the map. Except for this garage wall, of course, that Sentry did to us. The thing is, once we open this, we're not going to be able to really push because they'll have the Clash, they'll have the Denari, they'll have the Cade. There's a lot of things stopping us from doing that,
In 5 seconds.
which is kind of when we have to dabble into this idea of how do we create value as best as possible? What can we do this round that creates value? So you can go direct for site, which creates the most value out of any strategy. But if you can't actually get in and do something, it's going to be harder to create value. So what we want to do is basically add pressure to the bomb site. I'm thinking they might C4 over here. A lot of people start to C4 over. I don't know what their plan is, but if they start trying to C4 over, and there it is from the Cade there. Basically want to bait these out. See if he throws it over. There we go. Unfortunately, our teammate died from it. So now we can just make these lines of sight. We're not actually going to push in from this, but we're just going to make these lines of sight. Which basically just says, hey, I can look at you now. If we can look at them, we can do stuff. So because we know they're here, we can now drone. We have the lines of sight. Now they have to focus on this. So we've successfully drawn their attention to the main wall. And because of that, pushing in somewhere else is going to be easier. We have Buck here, so we can actually follow him up. Only one flank route on this, so this is another fairly direct sight take. We can just hold the flank for now. Do we have the advantage here? Well, we are tucked in the corner. We have a bit of an advantage. But he is going to be looking here if he flanks, so it might be safer to hold this from like outside, for example. Something like this. I'm going to just drone in, because if we can take the site, it's going to be a lot easier. Now they have all these Denaris. We can quickly just grenade over and get rid of those for our teammate. This is going to break all the Denaris and the shield, which is great, right? Oh, I actually did not get it. That surprises me. There we go, that should work. There we go, so no more trip connectors. We can actually go back to the breach, right? We want to establish the crossfire. Buck is going there, perfect. Now we have this backside pressure, which helps. Now where's this guy in kitchen? That is the question. We have him kitchen. He's the last guy. We can get into a better position. Just hold him in here. This game got really advanced really quick. So we have the pings on him. So where can he go? Do we have an advantage here? Well, no, we're kind of in the middle of the open. This is okay, though. But if he goes to the rotate, we're in a bad spot. So we should probably actually stay radio there and just hold and wait for more info. You know, we don't have to rush to get the bomb. We can really slow it down and go from there. I don't know. This is a gold game, but it got really complicated really fast, I feel. I'm sorry. I apologize. But we're in gold, guys. We're not beginners anymore. We know a thing or two, okay? Game simple, but also complex, right? We're slowly drifting into think like a champion territory, which makes these even harder to make for you, because now I need to really find the distinctions between these ranks and the higher ranks, which honestly I don't think there is that big of a distinction between champ and gold, especially modern day champs, modern day, you know, high elo players. That's all good. Back to CEO. We'll pick a trap op again. You know, I mean, we don't have to pick the trap op. We don't have to. We go smoke again if we really want. You just see how defender-sided these games get, though. I really like that my teammate did come through the backside. I think he was on Snake there. So he had the info to actually do it safely. But because we had the pressure yellow and backside and breach, now they have a bunch of things they have to worry about, right? Vertical play also might be something we want to start talking about on our attacks. But we might save that for next episode because I think we might put it away here. You know, if not, we'll talk about it on that last round if they go basement again. But they'll probably end up going top even if they do win this round. But vertical play would be easy too, because if they're not roaming and they're not holding above, well, now we have a new direct way into sight that we can pressure, or I guess it's not direct, but we have a new way into the site that we can add a new avenue of pressure. The more avenues of pressure, the more different ways we're shooting them in the box, the better. So again, barbed wire for the staircase. We could put barbed wire for the site walk-in. We just want to kind of extend our space out a little bit. The earlier we have the info, the easier it is to react. If we put the barbed wire all the way by Visador, we're probably not even going to hear it in the first place. But also, we can't really react to it over there. Barbed wire on the stairs, okay, now we can kind of smoke it, push up, or we can play in and around that area. And here we go with our other barbed wire. So once they kind of take this zone in this space, now we'll have the info by playing on site. But you can also extend out, you know, you can waste some time early on that far side too. So we're going to check the cams, see where they're playing. Again, take note of where our teammates are positioned. So we're kind of all in the site. Where are the gaps here? Okay, admin's being held. CEO's being held. Spiral has a gate on it, so we know if they're coming spiral. Let's take a look. Let's see. This is shut. Okay. It seems like they're coming yellow side. Let's hold an angle. Support our teammate. Hold an angle. Great C4. You hear them on the CEO repel too. Oh, careful of that window. Right? This is a bad spot. We're exposing ourselves to multiple angles. So where's a better spot? Probably something like this, right? So there's that smoke. They're probably going for a plant now. So we'll just smoke to counter it. If they want to push him go for the plant, they're getting choked out by the smoke, right? There we go. So we completely countered their utility. This guy repels in. That's fine. We're still just sitting, holding. Now if he's in, we just can completely counter him with another smoke. There we go. We've shut down their whole push. I mean, smoke is absolutely abysmal. Just so strong for taking out these direct takes like that, because you just use the smokes when they use their utility. And there you go. You got the diffuser. Life is good. And then you go crazy with the shotgun. You jump out a window and shotgun in the chest. This guy's baiting. Okay, you don't do that because we're in gold and people are actually really, really silly when it comes to winning these rounds. No, if you want to win that round, you sit in a corner, you chill, and you're good to go. Anyway, I'll show you the end of the round, but I'll kind of work away on my outro. Remember, keep in mind, how do you find the advantage? Something you should always be asking yourself. Where can you position yourself to find the advantage? Where are your teammates playing? Where are the gaps? Try to predict the enemy's behavior. The more you can predict them and understand what they're going to do, the better spots you can play and the more you can elevate your game. At the same time, rely on the fundamentals. Do the basics, which is hold the bomb site, attack the bomb site if you can, reduce your risk, and have a good time. That's about all I got for now, guys. I don't think this thing's going to win it because he's just running around the map cluelessly. So we'll hop on the defaults. We'll figure out where he actually goes and try to call him out for our team. We're dead, so we might as well be a good teammate. Even just a scan to let them know he's there, because a lot of people don't even listen to the mic call-outs anyway, or they mute their team or whatever. So it's better to just have the ping or have the scan. I mean, that ping is terrible, so that might just confuse people. But here he comes. Look at Mozzie just holding an angle where he has the advantage, and he's going to win it out because of it. Thank you for watching, and thank you, members. And subscribe for more. I post some Think Like a Champion, some higher level stuff every single day. But I hope this was good enough to help you get through your games in gold. Adios, gamers.